My name's Katrina Patel. I'm a registered professional biologist in Alberta, or it's a professional biologist in Alberta and a registered professional biologist in British Columbia. I'm a founding partner of ProEnviro, which is a spill response training and supply company. Today we're going to be talking about the spill kit that's designed for trucks. It is a smaller spill kit. It fits in the back of your vehicle. It is thin. It's for smaller spills. It can fit behind your seat or underneath the seat. It's bright yellow, so you can see it in different temperatures like snow or color like darkness. It opens like a pizza box, so you're able to see everything all in one go. You're not hunting and searching for certain items. You can access the different types of material. The kit is designed for various types of spills. Usually in a car collision, you can have glycols from the radiator, antifreeze, things that would not be absorbed by oil only. So there's two different types of products that you'll find in the spill industry. Usually this is the oil loving, and this is everything loving. So this doesn't absorb water or anything that's not oil, and this will absorb water, glycol, and anything else that's not oil. And it'll also absorb oil. So it'll do both, but this one is good for puddles. When you have lots of water and you don't want to consume all of your absorbent material, it's good to use your oil only, oil loving, versus your universal, because these obviously are prone to being consumed faster when you waste it with water, unless your water is contaminated. So as with most things, you want to be prepared and knowledgeable when it comes to spill response. And the best way to do that is to know your kit. Not only make sure that all of the contents are there, but be familiar with what each part of the contents are. So there's the pads, the different types of pads, the oil only, the universal. Same with the socks, the oil only, the universal. There's also your personal protective equipment, such as goggles and gloves. These are some nice goggles. These goggles protect the side of your eyes. They're splash goggles, specifically when you're dealing with a lot of fuel or fluid coming at you. It's nice to have full round eye protection. I'll be putting these on shortly. And these are nitrile heavy duty gloves. They're good protective equipment when you're working with chemicals, acids, and oils. You want to put these on so that you don't damage your hands. They're great for fashion too. I guess they fit around your glasses, which is nice. Typically I'd leave the goggles on, but being as we're just working with water in this mock spill, I'm going to go ahead and take them off. Okay, so before moving forward, let's just go ahead and make sure that all our contents are in the kit. We have 10 oil-only pads. I'll keep on these fancy gloves to demonstrate. Here are our pads. And we also have 10 universal pads, the gray or universal. And then we have the one universal sock, the one oil-only sock. We have the goggles that I demonstrated with class. The 6 basic steps to spill control. As I mentioned before, be prepared and educated so that you can know what to do before the spill happens rather than trying to figure it out during the spill. There is a bag for you to put all your material in afterwards, after you've contained and controlled the spill. You put your material into this heavy-duty bag and dispose of it appropriately. Depends on your local regulatory guidelines, but the absorbent material will take the properties of the material that you contaminate it with. So more often than not, if you absorb hydrocarbons in the pads and the socks, then they're going to be flammable and would need to be disposed of alternatively than throwing them in a garbage, a regular garbage. Last but not least, we have the universal low temp gap seal. This is, as I mentioned earlier, the most important part to stopping a spill and helping to reduce your costs and liability and exposure. The gap seal that we promote is universal, so it would be good for not just petroleum, but also glycol and other types of chemicals. And it's low temperatures, so you can work with it in different temperatures. It won't be all frozen on you when you're living in Edmonton or northern Alberta or northern BC or northern Canada for that matter. Next, I want to show you how to use the gap seal. So when you're dealing with a spill, it comes in different forms. This is my tabletop version of a container that has a hole in it. So if this was a drum or barrel that you were working with that had a hole in it, the easiest way for you to deal with the spill would be to turn it on its side and stop the material from spilling through the hole. So if it was like this and everything was spilling over it, then you'd tip it over and make sure that the hole is upright so the spill wouldn't come all over the place. So the main step to spill response is stopping the spill at its source. When it comes to using the gap seal on things like a saddle tank or other larger vessels that you don't have the opportunity to lift up and turn on its side, then we'll use the gap seal. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fill this pail up with water and demonstrate how to use the gap seal. With the gap seal, you want to be wearing your protective gloves. You can open up the gap seal and scoop the material out and make a ball out of it. Whatever the size of the hole is, that's the size of our hole, so that's about how much gap seal we're going to use. So, plugged. That's it. The gap seal is like Play-Doh. It's a putty. Once you roll it into a ball and you press it against the hole, it mushrooms in on the inside and plugs the hole. This product is available at www.ProEnviro.ca. I'm Katrina Patel. Thank you again for joining me for spill response training.